Okay, this is going to be the Chapter 9 Rationals review for 2015. Should have the sample test with you, so I'm going to go through this pretty quick because a lot of it's on the calculator. So let's start with number 1. All right, let's start with stating the restrictions. Let's find the equation first, or solve. It's basically all you got to do. Menu, all right, graph. Okay, we're going to type the right side in first. Okay, so the way you do that is x squared minus 6x minus 51. Okay, I'll put parentheses around that, divided by, okay, x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, that's that side. Now I'm going to do the left. Okay, all right, so I'm going to do 3, okay, divided by x plus 3 minus, okay, 5, all right, divided by x minus 5. So the key part is you got to make sure you put parentheses around the top and the bottom, all right? And I draw, let me set my window at standard. Okay, so what I might want to do is I might want to zoom out, execute, so I can see the whole thing. G-solve, intersect. Now, since my equations with x, I'm only going to care about the x. So let's see if there's any other intersections. Nope. So all this answer is x equals 7. That's the answer. Okay. Now, the restrictions, what I do is I look at the denominators. And this is just like what we had in the last 2 units ago. There'll be a restriction at x equals -3. There'll be a restriction at x equals 5. All right. If you need to factor that, you can go to equal. All right. So if you wanted to go to menu and you wanted to go to equal, all right, polynomial, degree 2, all right, 1, -2, and -15. Okay. If you need to factor that, that's going to be x minus 5 and x plus 3. Okay. So those are the same things that are there. So those are going to be my restrictions. So just the solutions of those two. Okay. Moving on quickly to number 2. All right. Once again, I'm going to type the right side in first. So I'm going to go back to menu and graph. Okay. All right. I'm going to delete. I'm going to delete. I'm going to type the right side in first. X plus 2. All right. Divided by x minus 5. That's that side. Then I got x plus 5 and x over x plus 1. Okay. I'm going to draw it. I got all kinds of mess there. G-solve, intersect. I got x equals -9 as an answer. Okay. Let me see if there's any other intersections. Nope, that's going to be it. So that's all I got. Now the restrictions here are x equals -1 and x equals 5. The solutions of what's in the denominator. Okay. Moving on to number 3. All right, moving on to number 3. So I'm going to go back. Once again, I am going to do the right side first. So I'm going to do -x minus 7. And I'm going to do 1 divided by x plus 3. All right, minus 2. Draw. G-solve, intersect. I've got an answer of x equals -4. Okay. And I've got an answer of, I think that's it. Yep, the answer of x equals -4. Once again, the restrictions out of that one will be x equals -3. All right, pretty simple stuff. Okay, going on the next page. All right, what is the apparent solution of this? Okay, the solutions are where it intersects. Now, since this one, we're going to do x equals 3. That's all you got to do with that. Okay, all right. Which equation has a solution -2? You sort of just got to take your time here, do each part, each equation. All right. So I'm going to do -16. I can just do divided by 8 because that's just a generic fraction. All right. And then the second one is going to be 2x plus 6 divided by x. All right. And I'm going to draw it. All right. G-solve, intersect. All right. Now, this is where I've got x equals -1.5, and I think that's it. So that's not one of the solutions, okay? I'm going to come back up here. 0, okay? 1 divided by x plus 2. Draw, G-solve, intersect. No solution there at all, so I'm going to go over to this one. Make sure I get all that stuff in there. All right, 18 over 7. Okay. All right, 15 over 7. Since that's a regular number, I'm just going to do that. I could do 15 parentheses over that, but I'm not going to waste my time with that. X minus 1. All right, divided by 3. Draw. G solve intersect. Okay. That's not the answer. So I guess I'm going to be down to this last one. Okay. 6 divided by 1. Right. Over 2x plus 16 divided by 3 plus 2. Okay, G solve intersect, and that answer is -2. That is my answer. Okay, now moving on to solving the radical equations. Okay, once again, we're going to do something very similar. All right, and you can zoom out or in as much as you want. I always like to zoom out at least one time. All right, square root of 2x. Okay, whoops, I did something wrong here. When you square root that, you should put parentheses around whatever you want to keep inside that. That's very vital. Okay, all right, this other one will be the square root of 7x. Whoops, parentheses. 7x minus 5. Okay, G solve intersect, and I've got an answer of x equals 1. Okay, I think that's it. Yep, okay, that's good there. All right, moving on over here to this one. All right, I got 2. I'm going to put -14 in there. I've got 2 cube root of x plus 5. All right, and as you can see, that's questionable. Even if I zoom out one more time, that might hit it, even if I hit zoom auto. Okay, and I'm going to do F3 just to get myself back to start. Zoom out, execute. So that's questionable. I'm not sure. I see that bending down. I see that flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to solve this one by hand. Now the way I do that is I'm going to divide that by 2. That's the cube root of x plus 5 equals 7. Okay. To get rid of the cube root, I cube both sides. So that's going to be x plus 5 equals -7 cubed. Okay. So let me go back to this part. Got -7 cubed. That's -343. Okay, and subtract 5 is x equals -348. And you've got to be careful because that's such a big number. That's why we weren't able to see it. Okay, moving on now to number 8. Okay, moving on to number 8. All right. All right, we're going back into graph. I'm going to graph the right side first. 8 minus x. Okay, I'm going to graph the left side. Square root of x plus 6. Okay, G solve intersect. I got x equals 1 as an answer. I think that's it, yep. Okay, and then now this one. All right, once again, I'm going to graph the right side first. Okay, 24. I'm going to graph the left side 2, parentheses, 5x raised to the 1/2 power. Okay, minus 6. Draw. All right, zoom out. Zoom out. All right, so if I zoom out a couple times, I can see it's going to cross. G solve intersect. All right, x equals 45. So go ahead and play around. You got so to understand how you zoom out, execute. If you want to go back to start, F3, exit, draw. So you have to get good at using some of these things. Maybe zoom auto sometimes helps. Zooming out, okay? All right, those kinds of things will help you. All right, that's 9, 10. All right, same deal. All right, same deal. I'm going to type exit. I'm going to do square root x plus 9. Whoops, too many pluses. All right, minus 3. Okay, 2 square root x. Draw. G solve intersect. I've got 0. X equals 0. Is that a solution? Yep, that's one of my choices. Boom, there I go. Okay. Solve x plus 4 and that stuff. Once again. All right, a lot of this stuff you can see, pretty repetitive. Okay. Square root, parentheses, x minus 2. Okay, minus 1. It's a lot of key pushing. G solve intersect. Okay? Can't be found. This one's going to be a no solution. Okay? Reason why algebraically it's a no solution, if I move that 1 over there, okay, that would be plus 5, because that would be a 1 there. If I squared both sides, okay, that ends up being x minus 2 equals, ends up being x squared plus 10x plus 25. That's x squared minus 9x plus 27 equals 0. Okay? And that's not going to create a solution, I don't believe. Okay? So for those of you that need to see why the algebra works, okay, also the intersection there. So if I typed in x squared minus 9x plus 27, as you can see, it's not crossing it. So that's another reason. So 2 reasons, no solution, no intersection, and that other stuff. Okay, now, cube root, okay? My anchor point here, just like all the other graphs I've ever done, my anchor point is 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And I got fooled by the markers. All right, down here. All right? Now, the base points, 1 and 8, -1 and -8. Here's why we do that. Because when you take the cube root of these numbers, this ends up giving you a nice answer. Cube root of 1 is 1. Cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of -1 is -1, -2. Okay? So, since there's a negative out here, I'm going to multiply by -1. So it's the same way we've always graphed all year. That's 1, that's 2. So 1 to the right, 1 down. Okay, 8 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 down. So bear out right here. And then 1 left, 1 up, 2 left. I'm sorry, 8 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. So here's what the graph looks like. Okay, it looks like that. On this side, my anchor point would be 0, 2. Okay, I would start out with the same base points over here. So 1, 8, no, I'm sorry, 1, 1, 8, 2, -1, -1, -8, -2. Okay, since there's a 3 here, I multiply these by 3, so that's 3, 6, -3, -6. So 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3 up. 8 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 left, 3 down, 1, 2, and 3. 2 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So here's what the graph looks like, something like this. Okay, something like that. Okay, use the graph to state the following stuff, just like all our other stuff. That's a left arrow. That's not leveling out. Let me make this a little clearer. That's not leveling out. That's going to continue to rise. That's continue to fall. Okay? So I got negative infinity, and that's going up. So that's going to be positive. This is a right arrow, but it's going down. So right, down, left, up. Okay? So the domain, smallest x value is negative infinity. Biggest x value is positive. So small, big. Okay, so it's that. That's going to be element of all real numbers. Okay? Smallest y, negative infinity. Biggest y, positive. Once again, all real numbers using y, because that's what range is. Okay? Zeros. It's going to cross at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to cross at 7. So I got x equals 7. That's 7 comma 0. The y-intercept, that crosses 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So 0, 3. All right, pretty simple stuff here. Okay? Increasing value. Once again, when I do this, all I care about is the x values. Okay? All I care about is the x values. All right? Okay? So basically, here's what happens. This is decreasing the whole way. Okay, I start from left to right. That's decreasing. So my increase is none. My decrease is from negative infinity to infinity, using the x value. And behaviors. X approaches infinity. Y approaches negative. So x approaches negative. Okay? Y approaches positive. All right? That's how simple that is. Which of the following best represents the equation of the previous graph problem? Okay, here's what you do. If you notice, all right, I've got an anchor point right there, right here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So my anchor point is 6, 1. Okay? My anchor point is 6, 1. So 6, 1, that's a possibility. That is out. Okay? That is out. And that is out. Okay? This is my only possibility. And it's also negative out front because that goes that way. If it was positive, it would work itself up the other way. Okay? Let me see if that's it for that page. Okay, mark an X onto the following solutions. Here and here. It's where it crosses across the line, not the intercepts. It's only where those two functions cross. Okay? This portion of the graph says which is most likely the solution set. So I got to find the ones that are about 2, 2. Okay? And also negative 2, negative 2. Those are the two ones where they cross. Okay? 2, 2, 2, negative 2. Not 0, 0. It's got to cross both graphs. Okay, moving on. All right, which of the following is not a solution to this graph? Okay, the way you can handle this to make it easy is go ahead and substitute these values. Okay, so here's what I would do. This would make the most sense to me. Go back to this, go to menu. Okay, now I'm going to put negative 10 for x, x cubed, 0 for I'm going to do y, so let me find where y is. Y is down here. So alpha y. Okay? So I'm going to type in the top equation, x, or the bottom equation, x squared plus alpha y squared. Okay? All right? Now, that needs to give me 100, and it does. So that's good on that side. Now, x squared plus 2y, alpha y, minus 20, it needs to give me 0. It gives me 80, so that point is not a solution. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Okay, now I'm going to switch these up. Negative 6, arrow, alpha, or actually we'll just do x, and then 8, arrow, alpha, y. Okay, alpha, let's do that top one because that seems to be a little bit more. All right, so let's go x squared, all right, plus 2 alpha y minus 20. Oh, whoops, that didn't do it. Alpha y, all right, minus 20. 32 did not give me 0, so that one is out. Okay? 6, negative 8. 6, arrow, alpha, or actually just x. All right, negative 8, arrow, alpha. All right. All right, x squared plus 2 alpha y minus 20. Needs to give me 0. It does. So all we got to do is check that in there. All right? Okay? All we got to do is check that one in there and see if that works. Okay? All right? So I got x squared plus alpha y squared. Okay? So that's 100. So that is a solution. Okay? That's my solution. These are not. Okay? These are not solutions. All right? These are not solutions. Not solution. Okay? And then 6 and 8. 6 arrow alpha, or just x. 8 arrow alpha y. X squared plus 2 alpha y minus 20. 32. That is not a solution as well. So I think maybe the directions should have said which one is a solution, but that's how that lays out. Okay, identify the x coordinates. Now here's what I would do with this. Go ahead and get everything with y by itself. To make this easier, just change all the signs. So I'm going to have 3y on this side. Now I'm going to have 6x squared. I'm just changing all the signs. Negative 24x, positive 9. Now I need to get rid of this 3 by division. So that's y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 3. Okay, that is one equation. This one, same deal. Now be careful. That's going to be a negative y to start. I'm moving everything over, so that's going to be negative 3x, positive 6. Now to get rid of this, I'm just dividing by negative 1. So what I got is y equals 3x minus 6. So these are the two things I'm going to graph. Okay? And I'm going to find every intersection point. Okay? So let's go ahead and move this over. Menu, graph. 2x squared minus 8x plus 3. Okay, 3x minus 6. Okay, G solve intersection. That's 1, negative 3. Okay, so I got x coordinates of 1, x equals 1, y equals negative 3. And I think how they want you to answer this is see if there's another intersection. Yep, 4.5 and 7.5. So x equals 4.5, y equals 7.5. Go ahead and do that. It's probably safe to say your teacher will give you full credit for that. Okay, once again, these are nice and easy already by themselves. Okay, so I just go back. I'm going to do x squared minus 8x minus 16 and negative x squared minus 6. I'm going to draw that. I got that for answer. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out one more time. G solve intersect. I've got x equals negative 1 and y equals negative 7. Let me fix that. Okay. And then the other one is 5, negative 31. Now, here's why I had to answer like this, because it had both an x and a y in it. Okay? Same thing with up here. This had an x and a y in it. When they do that, you have to answer both. Okay? I think we're on last 2 problems. Almost done. Almost home stretch. Okay? What you're going to want to do, that's going to be x minus 2. That's not going to change. Okay? All right? I'm going to want to factor these. If you can do it in your head, great. Saves you some time. Okay? So if you go equal, poly, degree 2, all right, 1, negative 2, negative 8. Okay, solve. That's going to be x minus 4x plus 2. Now, one of the things you have to remember is this is going to flip underneath. So that's going to be x plus 2x minus 2. I think we all know how to do those. If I want to factor that last one, all right, that's going to be 1, 4, and 4. Okay, that's going to be, that means times 2 means there's going to be 2 of these. Now to do this problem, after I flipped it, as you can see, the division flips it. I want to try to eliminate vertically. So I can cross off here and here. Diagonally, I can cross off here and here. Okay? Also, I can cross off here and here. Okay? So what I got left over up top is just a 1 and an x minus 4. If you've got no other terms, that's what you're going to have. Okay? Now, moving on to this one. What I would do, okay, make it easier on yourself. Go ahead and make this a separate problem. Just work on this by itself, okay? So the way this would work is this would need a q, so I would times by q. This would need a p, I would times by p. So what I have is q minus, and we treat that like a negative, so that's negative 2p, over, okay, pq. Okay, that's that problem. Now, I'm going to take this one. There's a 1 here. This one's just missing a p. Okay? So what I got is I got 3p minus 5 over p. Now, what I'm going to do is, since this is division, I'm going to flip this over. Okay? I'm going to extend this a little bit. What's going to happen is I'm going to have p times q minus 2p, and then pq, 3p minus 5. Now, I can cross off these 2 p's, so I'm going to be left with q minus 2p over q, 3p minus 5. Okay? Be very careful with that. You can cross off the monomials if they're exactly the same. So that is the test. Okay? Make sure you go through the review. That's pretty simple. Just make sure you have good calculator skills.